So we're gonna try to finish the story up to get more into what's going on in my recent life. Trying to get all these past memories. Um, yeah, just trying to get past these old memories. Okay, so I left off us being in high school. I think it was freshman year. Yeah, so like my self-esteem is still shot. This time, like I said, we were getting into boys. I just was getting into the boys because our best friend and my sister was like getting all the attention. So I was like, okay, I want to be in the mix too. So we started, my best friend, I don't know how she got it, but she ended up getting on the chat line. And then we started getting on the chat line. And if you don't know what the chat line is, this is before Facebook and POF and Bumble and all that. Because we didn't have cell phones back then. We only had landlines. So we would have to call a certain number. And they had different rooms like you can go into. They had the main rooms that you can go into, and then you can create your own room. And that's what we did a lot of times, create our own room. But we would go to the main room and we would like give our room number to whoever we wanted to talk to in our own room. And sometimes we were talking with ourselves in the room because we had landlines. And if you remember, like everybody at least had a second phone in the house, and that second phone was either the cordless or the one that was attached to the phone. So we would always do the three-way with our best friend while my sister had one phone and I had the other phone. So I don't think I said this, but I really wasn't I did like a couple of boys that was around my age, but they never liked me. And this is where the colorism come in. They never liked me, and because I've been told, like, since I, like, oh, you're not pretty. It was always my sister. Like, she's the pretty, sexy, slim one, and I was the big one, and I wasn't even that big. But yeah, so we started going on these chat lines or whatever, and we would meet like other like boys or whatever, but we would always meet like in a public place, like either in front of their house or at the mall or somewhere public. So mind you, a couple of times, I think the first couple of times we ended up like meeting boys from our school, which that made me like oh my god, like I think I said, like, we were popular, but we was like the loner populars. Like, people knew us because, like I said, because they thought my sister and me were twins, and then it was always the three of us together. Like, if you didn't see all three of us together, it was two of us together. So it was like we were always known, like our little clique was always known because it was always us three since middle school, since 8th grade. So that's what made me started kind of using aliases when I would go on the chat lines, because I was very, very shocked. Like, we would see like we were talking to like boys that were at our school, and I was very, very quiet, so nobody really knew how I sound unless you was like really like in that circle. But nobody really knew, but I always knew everybody's voice. So there was a couple of times like when I would go on the chat lines, like I knew who I was talking to, but they would never know. I would always use an alias or describe somebody else. But yeah, and I do have a story time, well, for my Thankful Thursdays on my TikTok. I will add after this video so it can correlate with what I'm talking about. So I already have this image of my mind of what a black family looks like, because we didn't grow up with cable, so we only had like the local channels. So it was like Family Matter. I know how everybody feel about Bill Cosby. I don't care. I love the Bill Cosby show. It made me see a whole different light on the black community, of having that balance of having a nurturing, loving mother and then a strong black father. Even Family Matters, you know what I'm saying? Fresh Prince also showed like a different aspect of the black community. And that's all I ever looked at or looked up to see how other people lived. And it was like, our best friend at the time, her family was more closer to that image than any other black family that I seen. And mind you, she's like Puerto Rican and black, but still, we still are minority. So I always thought like that's how a black family's supposed to be. But I was like, well, we're Haitian, and if this is how Haitian people act, I don't want to date no Haitian. And so that's how I went through like from my teenage, since I like started having interest in boys, all the way until I met the first person I had a kid with. So in my mind, I was like, I don't want to date no Haitian. And because a lot of the black boys, like, because it was like I was always attracted to dark skinned guys, but they were dudes, but they were never attracted to me. But then when I get into high school, it's all like the light skinned, white, Puerto Rican, like Spanish boy that was attracted to me and made me feel beautiful about my skin, even though I still wasn't like feeling beautiful. So